Hello everyone and welcome to a playable advertisement, and a very special, very fun playable advertisement. I would call this a parody of Super Sentai media, but really it's way too sincere for that. Either way, we are a superhero, and we need to get our girlfriend back from the Kettler. Much like Superman, we are from an entirely different planet, but our planet did not get blowed up. And we've currently driven our way right into a Japanese festival where these putty knockoffs from the Power Rangers have showed up and they're trying to kill us. But for the good name of all of UFO's instant meals, we cannot let them prevail. Which is rather easy since they are the weakest enemy in the game. They only take one full combo to destroy, or one full charge of our Sauce Blaster. They also come in red and blue variations, and while those are stronger, they're really not any harder to defeat, they just take more combos. We can also do a dashing kick. It's more like a jumping kick really, but you do have to dash to perform it. We can perform it in mid-combo to knock the enemies over, as you're seeing. You may be asking yourself, do they actually fight back? And yes, they do, they're just not necessarily good at it. That's okay though, because well, this game places a very heavy emphasis on not getting hit at all, let's just say that. Hits from any enemy at all tend to do a huge number on your health bar, which is why they're so easy to defeat, I think, and why they're so easy to avoid. Because just one or two slip-ups could mean the end of a life for you. This is helped by the fact that there are very few health pickups, maybe one per stage, two if you're lucky. We did meet a new enemy type on the second screen. Well, actually two new enemy types. The first one is this dragon in a pot. He telegraphs his attack really well. He flies up into the air and then zips down at us. You just need to watch your surroundings and move up or down before he launches at you, and you should be fine. Not that hard to dodge, really. Just don't stay in one place for too long. And yeah, we're on a unicycle right now. It's an invincibility power-up and also deals damage to enemies, go figure. That thing on the ground over to our right is a health pickup, and we also just picked up a sauce power-up. Which means that our sauce shooter now is two sauce shooters. Twice the power, twice the range, and twice the, twice the everything. The sauce shooter really only deals notable damage if you charge it up all the way and the enemies are right next to you. Otherwise, you shouldn't bother. The second new enemy type is this guy on rollerblades with the pink tea kettle on his head. He tends to zip around the screen a lot more than the other enemies, and he can do a sliding kick at us. But most of the time he just stumbles around. We do see more competent versions of this enemy later, but that's much later, so you shouldn't worry about that right now. Every level in this game has 3 or 4 screens. This is the third one, and there is a fourth. If there is one downside to this game, it's that the enemies tend to repeat themselves a lot. The fun part of the game is meeting the new enemy types and learning how to work around them, but after you do that, and they mix the enemy types together with other enemies, you're pretty much done. You're ready to pack it up and fight the boss. That's not to say the repetition gets so bad that it ruins the game or makes it unenjoyable. There's just a little bit of downtime, like 3 or 4 minutes per stage. But the downtime in this game isn't bad either, it's just stuff you've already done, but in slightly different variations. Because of this downtime though, I'm going to abridge each stage. I'm going to talk about the stage design and the enemy design in the stage, and then we're going to fight the last screen and the boss in real time. The first stage is an exception because I had more to talk about, but from stage 2 onward, just think of it as a little mini review for each stage, followed by the boss battle. The brand that we currently are defending is called UFO. You heard that right the first time I said it. I don't know what UFO stands for, but I know they sell a lot of instant meals, and we have to protect the good name of instant food. To this end, a lot of the enemies and bosses are combatants of instant food, taken in a more humorous context. Like, I'm pretty sure UFO doesn't actually hate the next boss we're fighting, but for the purpose of using this game as an advertisement, it's kinda cute. Is there anything else we're missing about the basic gameplay? I don't think so. I even covered the fact that you can do the rolling kick in the middle of a combo. Oh yeah, the HUD is really nice. That is a really spiffy UI down there, I love it. It has a lot of personality, and believe it or not, it's one of the things that drew me the most into this game, because a lot of beat-em-ups do not have a fancy HUD like that, and not all of them need one, but this game definitely benefits from it. Oh yeah, one last thing, each screen has a time limit. If you don't defeat the enemies within the time limit, then you lose a life. The time limit is somewhat strict, not nearly as strict as, say, in The Punisher for the Genesis. If you know what you're doing, you should be able to get through just fine. And our lives are those stars, they're just above our sauce meter. We can collect up to 6 of them, I think? I'm not sure, because I've never gotten past 6. Either way, this is the last enemy before the final screen. The last screen contains a few enemies, and then a boss battle. Usually not too many enemies, though. In this case, it's just 6 or 7 of these backflipping weirdos. And we already know how to deal with them the same way as the black and blue ones, except they take more hits and they backflip way more. I'm not sure if that's an intentional piece of the game design, but yeah, the red ones tend to flip way more. The flips don't hurt you, I guess maybe it was just for style.